how are you? I am teacher Shari. I am a special education teacher. I've earned my Master of Arts degree in education with a major in special education. I also have a BA in psychology. I am a part owner of a learning and therapy center in Manila, Philippines, which offers services in occupational therapy, speech and language therapy, and special education tutorials from which I work remotely. At present, I am tutoring students with special needs online. Today, as a special education practitioner, I would like to share with you some strategies on how to assist and teach our students with special needs online. Let me give you one example of a student's profile. The student falls in what is known as the spectrum. Spectrum means that the student displays different behavioral patterns associated with some form or degree of autism. Although the student is in a third grade level, the student's reading level is comparable to that of a first grade level. In reading skills, the student is performing at a functional first grade reading level in terms of expressive language. Expressive language means that the student can communicate one's needs and express oneself using words, phrases, and sentences. However, the student needs improvement in terms of receptive language. Receptive language refers to the student's ability to understand words and language. However, in this case, the student tends to read impulsively, which interferes with the student's ability to recall facts and information. Also, the student displays difficulty in processing information, which tends to interfere the student's ability to recall facts. Further, the student is attentive but tends to lose focus, so the student needs to be redirected every now and then. The student also tends to answer a question in such a way that the student seems to be seeking confirmation from the teacher. For example, when asked the question, "What animal is this?" Often the student would answer, "Cat. Is it a cat?" Students in the spectrum also work well when their tasks are organized and when they follow a procedure. Therefore, I show them a checklist of the activities that are to be done for the class at the beginning of the class. This is helpful to inform the student about what activities to expect during the session. In this way, both the student and the teacher can transition smoothly from one activity to another. In addition, it sets a routine for the student each time there is a class. Another thing that is very important is giving tokens like a star or sticker and consistently praising the child for good work, whether small or big. These are forms of positive reinforcement that help sustain the student's attention and build the student's confidence. Hi, I'm teacher Shari. Welcome back. So right now we're going to talk about the warm-up portion. In a typical 1-hour one-on-one session, I start the class by greeting my student with "Good morning" or "Good afternoon." After the child responds, I ask the student, "How are you feeling today?" And I continue with, "How's the weather like today? Do we have a sunny day or a cloudy day today?" This is kind of breaking the ice, and it gets the student relaxed and ready for the class. After, I show the task board, which contains all the activities for the class. I go on to say, "These are our tasks for today. We have vocabulary time, reading time, question time, and fun time!" Yay! Fun time means our tasks for the day have already been completed, and we can draw, color, or sing. We are going to put a check mark each time we finish or complete a task or activity. I also tell the child that for every task or activity that will be completed, I will give the student a token such as a star or smiley as a form of positive reinforcement. I would say, I will give you a star or smiley for each activity that you will finish. Okay? Ready? Next, I show the student an object that is related to the lesson. For this example, I will be using the story The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. I might ask the student, what animal is this? Using objects or any cutouts like these that are related to the story is also beneficial as we begin to set up the teaching environment of the class. These brings out the students' curiosity, captures their attention, and builds that energy to participate in class, specifically in reading. The object does not necessarily mean an actual object. As teachers, we can be creative and resourceful. We can draw on a whiteboard or on any piece of paper, or use these cutouts as you can see that I have done here. Next, we're going to vocabulary. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Teacher Shari. Welcome back. Now, we start with our first activity, vocabulary time. Yay! First, I am going to show you the pictures, then the words, apple, pears, plums. Some parents seem to object to this vocabulary exercise, and vocabulary building is very important for students to get the idea and concept in mind before reading the actual text. Let us never assume that the student knows or is familiar with all the words found in the text. We must try to see from a student's perspective. Then it becomes necessary to unlock these words so when the student gets to the reading part, he or she will have a better understanding of the story. Remember, these words must be presented the same way they are used in the context of the story. Also, imagine that the student loses focus every now and then. We have to redirect the child once in a while by calling the student's name and saying, look, we still need to read. Look at our screen. Study time before fun time. Hi, this is Teacher Shari. Welcome back. After vocabulary time, we move to reading time. I tell the student that it is now time to read the story. I guide the student where to start and say, let us read the title of our story first. I let the student read and guide him or her through the words if the student is having difficulty. In between every paragraph, I ask questions. Asking questions in between evaluates whether the student can recall the information in the text. This also determines how well the student understands the flow of the story. In the beginning, the questions are presented in a multiple choice format so that the student does not necessarily need to remember all the facts. As the student progresses, these can still be presented in other formats. Choices help the student to recall that information. I let the student read the questions as well as all the choices before answering. Here it is important to remember to redirect the child or the student's attention each time the student seems to lose focus and remind the student that the class is not yet finished. These helps to bring the student's attention back to the lesson. Hey, I'm Teacher Shari. Welcome back. Now it's time to close or end the session. After reading and question time, I let the student know that our session is almost finished by saying something like, "Look, we finished all our tasks and our time is almost done. You've done a really good job." I tell the student that we will be reading another story next session, and I add, "Wait, we have time for an activity or a song. Let's sing a song or do a fun activity like coloring or drawing." When this is done, the student would leave and get the parent or caregiver. The remaining 2 to 3 minutes of the session is intended to give feedback about the student's performance and give recommendations to the parent on how to assist the student outside these sessions. I also inform the parent what activities we did today and what to expect next session. This concludes our special ed series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned a few things. Feedback is always welcome. Don't forget to like and share. Bye!